Hey everybody, happy Wednesday, and good morning. So as y'all see, we not walking this morning, we sitting. God, let me just tell y'all a praise report that God has been so good to me and my family. Just me being obedient and recording my content consistently, just being in God's face about solid transportation, being very much with the willingness to submit my finances to Him, and really just saying, like, God, I need this, and in order for my finances to get better, like, I gotta cut this bill off, and before I could do that, I need solid transportation. And it took for me to really lay down the burden of transportation and just trusting God as always. So that's just the praise report that God came through, and He gave me something that I was not expected, more valuable than what I would have been looking for, and it was just right on time. So I am so grateful. So some videos now, by the time y'all see this video, I would have had the car for like a couple of months or so. So some videos, of course, we're gonna still walk, but as this transition from summer season here on the West Coast to the winter season, you guys will see me probably more in the car than walking, just because I ain't walking in the cold. We just not doing that. But more than less, what I want to talk about, actually, let me turn this down a little bit. So what I want to talk about is capacity, right? But before I talk about capacity, I want to talk about rest and how rest is necessary, and it actually goes hand in hand with capacity. But I want us to know, like, we don't need to be on a go-go. We don't always need to be on a go. You're wondering why you're feeling tired, you're feeling sluggish, you're checking off all of the boxes. But when is the last time you rested? And let me give you a clear definition of rest, because rest does not mean that you sleeping. Sleep and rest is two different things. You can rest by just lounging in a chair and watching TV and not do nothing, not touch phone, not do anything at all. But that's resting. When an old school person would say, I'm finna sit right here in this chair so I can rest my feet, that means I'm finna sit down in this chair and I ain't doing nothing. And don't ask me to do nothing because my feet hurt, because I've been on my feet all day. And I'm finna give my feet a rest. But when's the last time you gave your mind a rest? And you told all your thoughts to shut up. You told all your thoughts, like, shush, 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 shush. I don't want to hear it. I don't care what it looks like tomorrow or the rest of the day. Right now, my priority is rest. When the last time you gave yourself the capacity for it? So when we talk about capacity, let's talk about being aware of your capacity, right? And that was just a little snippet on rest is necessary, because it's going to tie in. But here's what I want you guys to think about. When is the last time that you were honest with yourself and honest with somebody else to say you didn't have the capacity for that? When is the last time that you were aware and realized that what you thought you had capacity for, you really don't have capacity for? See, this is the part where we like to get mad at God when He, quote unquote, don't answer the prayers that we want Him to answer, but we keep asking Him for more stuff, where we don't business is not being blessed as much as we want it to be blessed, or it's not going the way we thought it should be going. And so we like to blame God on this. But I want to ask you, when is the last time you sat and was like, do I have the capacity though? If my business, I have another business venture that I'm doing, and I had to think about it. Like, do I really have the capacity? Like, I need a business. I have the business venture I'm doing. I have to, and I'm gonna use this for myself, because we good. This is about me. This ain't even got nothing to do with y'all, but I pray that it bless you. So in my business venture, I'm not gonna tell you what it is yet, but I need to have a business address. And I actually really need more than a business address. I actually need like a small office, a small business office. And for the moment at the beginning, to have it as like a storage and like a creative space for me, but also for storage for when I order packages or whatever. And then I can, go from there. And it made me realize I don't have the capacity for that right now. Now, does it mean that I can't move forward in the business venture? No. Does it mean that's not what God has for me? No. But if I'm honest with myself, financially, I'm not ready for that capacity to be added to my finances. I know we can talk about radical faith move, but I also want to use wisdom in radical faith move. And the wisdom is, for this second business venture, before I move on it, I want to make sure that I have the capacity for it. It's not even preparation. Yes, I am preparing. I'm preparing my finances to be in a good way in order for me to have the capacity to make room for that. The car that we had, my prayer to God was, I don't need a car to fit everybody in it, because I don't roll with everybody and everybody don't roll with me. So I don't need a car that's big to fit other people in it. No. My family is accounted for. So if my family is accounted for, that means I need a car that is big enough to, generally, because I have growing young men and their legs get long and they get tall, I need a car to generally, at the moment, to fit 4 to 5 people. And the 5 people, it ain't for a person to come in the car, because I don't have capacity for that. It's for them to have the extra leg room that they need. I have the capacity to carry that, right? I have the capacity to get the car and get the registration and insurance and all. My finances had the capacity. I had room. In relationships, we are never honest about our capacity. I know y'all didn't expect for me to go that way, but I guess God just setting this up. But walk with me on this. We do not be honest with ourselves when it comes to relationships, whether conventional or unconventional, that we have the capacity for the other person. So then we get mad and throw a fit. And when we get mad and we throw a fit and we want to blame it on the other person, but the naturality about it is we never was honest with ourselves if we had the capacity to deal with that. I wasn't honest with myself if I had the capacity to deal with my ex-husband. I wasn't. I was overly extending myself to the point of sacrificing myself and being an illusion that this was going to work. When all in all, God was trying to show me, you don't For one, this is really not what you want. You're settling. And we already talked about that. But two, you don't have the capacity to deal with him because you're trying to find who you are. So because you're trying to find who you are, he don't know who he is, and he ain't trying to find out who he is. You don't have the capacity to deal with a broken person when you are broken yourself. That's why hurt people, because hurt people are in an illusion in your mind, thinking that you can heal another person when you need healing yourself. Thinking that you have the capacity to deal with and tolerate another human being when you can't even deal and tolerate with yourself. See, we talked about dating yourself. This is another part of self-evaluation that God had to bring me to, of capacity, especially when it comes bigger in relationship, because he does call us to be in relationship. This is how Eve was created, because he said man shall not be alone. So he does call us to be in relationship with him and to have good, healthy relationships here on this earth. But if you are never honest with yourself, that of your capacity of how much you can not only receive from a person, but how much you can give out to a person, you are going to be in a whirlwind. When it came to my children's father, I didn't have the capacity. When it came to my relationship with my mom, and I didn't have the capacity to deal with others who didn't know who they are. Better yet, who are in an illusion of who they really are. Because the naturality, you cannot face the truth about yourself, or you don't want to go into the depths of your soul. But in order to know your capacity and what you can handle and tolerate on a healthy level, you have to know yourself. I can't tell y'all about capacity if I ain't doing the work myself. And this work, I've been getting to know myself. What I don't like, what I don't want, whether it's relationship, what I like to do, what I don't like to do. Even to the point of telling my kids, like, yo, chill out. I know it's the end of the day. That car ride home, now that we got a car, right? That car ride home, that's when y'all could tell me about your day one at a time. But when we get in that house, if your homework is done already, then it's time for pajamas, showers, and bedtime, and get ready for the next day. Just to let them know, like, I love y'all, but the capacity I have for y'all is like that car ride home. And y'all may get a little bit extra when we get home, but that's me pulling out extra because I love my kids. But then I still make capacity and make room for myself. I still make sure that I have the capacity to deal with myself. It's teaching me how to show myself grace and mercy that I don't normally. In the past, I would not have shown myself grace and mercy. I would have been condemning myself on decisions that I've made. I would have been so hard on myself that it would have kept me in a place of depression and anxiety. But because I am doing my self-evaluation, and because I am actually learning myself and finding myself where I left myself, picking up those pieces and actually, how can I say this? Actually putting in the work, then I'm learning what I have capacity for and what I don't. I'm learning what I can tolerate and what I can't. I'm learning what I want and what I don't want. And sometimes, learning what you want and what you don't want, it comes with just, failure. And it doesn't mean you necessarily is a failure, but I never gave myself capacity to be a failure because other people didn't give me that capacity to be a failure. I always thought I had to be perfect. Straight A's and B's. I can't get nothing less than a B. I gotta do this. I gotta do that. I gotta do this. I have to be in perfection. Even if it got a few errors, not excellence, but perfection. I have to thrive for perfection. So my capacity was filled with perfection and accolades and accomplishments. Well, when I stripped all that stuff up off of me and Jesus was like, lay all of that down, I realized I didn't have the capacity for that pressure at all. My kids taught me patience. A whole lot. But I'm learning to have capacity to have that patience, to give them grace and to give them mercy. So my question to you is, are you aware of what you hold? Are you aware of what you can hold? Let me rephrase that. Are you aware of what you can hold? And I want you to think about that in all areas and all aspects of your life. Like, really be honest with yourself. Jot it down if you need to, but be honest with yourself about how much you can hold. How much can you really hold? I saw something, I think it was a sermon or something that a pastor I followed was going over, and he was talking about how we don't never know how much we can hold. And sometimes we will self-sabotage and think we can't hold something, and God says, but you can, and I'm right here with you. So, and that's capacity. Capacity is nothing but how much can you hold? How much of an overflow can you hold within you to be able to be a blessing to other people? Is your business a blessing? Are you the blessing? Are you willing to be the vessel to hold? Or are you holding anything? Are you empty? But really be aware of those things. So I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all for all the support. And y'all have a blessed day. Bye.